It was one of those sticky summer evenings in Southside Atlanta, the kind where the heat clings to your skin like sweat and the streetlights flicker before they're even needed. The city buzzed with the sound of cicadas, cars with broken mufflers, and music floating from cracked windows. Somewhere near the edge of East 39th Street, three boys, Darius, Malik, and Jamal, sat on the curb, trading jokes and chewing on sunflower seeds. They were best friends, not because they had the same hobbies, but because they had the same kind of struggle, same cracked sidewalks, same single mothers working night shifts, same way of navigating a world that never quite looked them in the eye. Darius, the oldest at 16, was the quiet one, always watching, always listening. His dream was to be a mechanic. He could take apart a lawnmower in 15 minutes and put it back together better than it was built. Malik, 15, was the talker, a hustler at heart, with a gift for words and a grin that could convince anyone to believe him, even when he wasn't sure himself. Jamal, just turned 14, was the youngest and the softest. A sketchbook always tucked under his arm, drawing sneakers, buildings, dreams that looked nothing like the block they were raised on. They weren't saints. They weren't troublemakers either. They were just trying. It was around 8:30 p.m. when the car rolled into view, or rather, crawled into view. A sleek black Bentley Continental GT, cleaner than anything that had any business on 39th Street, crept to a stop near the boys, one tire sagging, rim kissing the asphalt. The driver's side window slid down slowly, and from behind tinted glass emerged a man in his late 50s, salt and pepper beard, button-down shirt, voice like a smooth piano key. "Hey, boys," he said, eyes scanning them with measured caution. "Got a flat. Lost my phone signal a few blocks back. Think you can help an old man out?" The three boys looked at one another. Nobody said a word. Darius stood up. "You got a spare?" "Yeah," the man said, climbing out of the car. "In the trunk. Don't suppose you got a jack?" "We got better than that," Malik said, already moving toward the car. "We got Darius." 15 minutes later, Darius had the car jacked, the lug nuts off, and the spare halfway on. Malik held a flashlight from his phone, and Jamal sketched the moment because it felt like something worth remembering. The man didn't talk much at first, just watched them, occasionally asking questions. "You boys from around here?" "Yeah," Malik said. "Why? You always help strangers like this?" "Depends," Darius grunted. "Most people don't ask." By the time the tire was on and the tools were packed up, the man looked at them like someone trying to make up his mind about something important. He reached into his wallet and pulled out 3 crisp $100 bills. "For your time." Darius shook his head. "We didn't do it for money." The man blinked, not surprised, but moved. "Take it anyway," he said. "You'll need it more than I will." Reluctantly, they took it. He didn't give his name, just thanked them again, climbed into his car, and drove off into the night like a man disappearing into his own legend. The next day was Sunday. The sky was a little less hot, and the neighborhood was still doing what it always did, trying to forget how hard things were. The boys were back on the same curb, sipping orange sodas and talking about basketball when it showed up. A black SUV, matte, tinted windows, no tags. It rolled up slow. Too slow. The boys froze. No one spoke. Then the back window rolled down, and there he was. Same salt and pepper beard, same soft voice. "Get in." They looked at each other, unsure. "Where are we going?" Darius asked. "Somewhere worth your time." And that was how it started. The car didn't head downtown. It went past it, crossed over into Buckhead, where the trees were taller, the sidewalks cleaner, and the people looked like they'd never been tired a day in their lives. They pulled into a driveway longer than any street back home. The man stepped out. "Name's Mr. Langston," he said. "I own this house, and a few other things." He wasn't showing off. He was letting them know. They walked into the house like kids stepping into another dimension. Marble floors, a grand piano, a kitchen the size of their whole apartment. On the wall were plaques, Entrepreneur of the Year, Harvard Business School, and something that said, First Black CEO of something tech-sounding. Mr. Langston led them to the back where 3 chairs were set up in front of a small stage. On the table, notebooks, laptops, pens, bottled water. "You're not here for a reward," he said. "You're here for a head start." He looked at Darius. "You want to be a mechanic? I own a restoration garage. You'll start shadowing my lead guy this summer, if you're serious." Darius's mouth parted, but no words came. He turned to Malik. "You've got the kind of tongue that sells ideas. I've got a media startup. You'll intern. 2 days a week. You'll learn how to pitch, how to write, how to negotiate." Malik blinked fast, like he didn't trust what he was hearing. Then Mr. Langston looked at Jamal. "I've seen your drawings," he said. "You're not just good, you're rare. I've got a friend at the Atlanta Institute of Design. He runs a youth mentorship program. They'll take you. Full scholarship." Jamal's sketchbook nearly fell from his hands. "Why are you doing this?" Darius finally asked. Mr. Langston leaned on his cane. "Because someone helped me once. When I didn't ask. When I didn't think I deserved it. 3 boys helped me fix a flat. And I watched how they worked. With pride. With focus. With decency." He looked at them, each in turn. "I don't believe in accidents. I believe in appointments." He waved a hand. "But it's up to you. You can take the ride back home, or take the long road forward." The boys sat in silence. They knew what he meant. He wasn't offering a gift. He was offering a path. And paths meant walking, meant leaving something behind. That day, they said yes. That night, their mothers cried in kitchens, not because they were scared, but because someone finally saw what they'd been praying for all these years, that their sons would be seen. 6 weeks later, Darius was under the hood of a 1969 Mustang, learning about torque ratios and spark plug timing. Malik was attending editorial meetings, learning how to pitch a story in 30 seconds or less. Jamal had an art mentor named Ellis who took him to museums and taught him about shadows and space and the weight of silence in a sketch. They still saw each other every Sunday, still talked trash, still drank orange soda, still sat on the curb when they wanted to remember where it started. But everything else had changed. One afternoon, a white kid from the private school downtown came up to Malik and asked why he thought the billionaire picked them. Malik just grinned. "Because we helped without asking for something." He paused. "And maybe, because we didn't wait to be told we mattered." Jamal sketched the moment. Darius nodded once and said, "Next time you see someone on the side of the road, don't just drive by." They didn't become rich overnight, didn't move into mansions or signbook deals. But they had momentum. They had direction. And in a world that had taught them to expect little, they now carried something bigger than luck. They carried legacy. All because one night they did something small, and the next day the world answered in a black SUV.